Hello YouTube, this is God of Radio Moscow here again for you with another beer review. I've decided that after accumulating a good number of Belgian beers that it's time for a Belgian beer review. Incidentally, before I start this brewery on my chalice is 6 Degrees North, which are a Belgian style brewery based in Stonehaven in Aberdeenshire, and they've recently opened up a bar in Aberdeen, which got me into Belgian beer. They've got something daft, like 300 different types of Belgian beer. But anyway, I've decided that for my first Belgian beer review, I will go with Duvel, because Duvel's a very, very well known Belgian beer. It's exported all across the world, and it's a very, very good starting point to go with. Now, this is brewed by the Duvel Moortgat Brewery, which is a Flemish family-owned brewery founded in 1871 by Jan Leonard Moortgat. And he himself came from a family of brewers in Steenheuvel, but the brewery is now currently based in Breendon, Belgium, which is a small town of about 3,000 people located halfway between Brussels and Antwerp. Now in the 1970s this company struggled financially, and so as a measure to prevent this, they started bottling and distributing Tuborg, which allowed them to create quite a large distribution network for this beer here. Now, the Duvel Moortgat Brewery was also an initial investor in the Ommegang Brewery located in Cooperstown in New York. So those of you watching in the States have probably heard of this one. And they also recently purchased the Brouwerij de Alkhof Brewery in 2006 and the De Koninck Brewery in 2010, which are other fairly well-known Belgian breweries. I've heard of them from the 6 Degrees North place. But this particular beer is the flagship product of the brewery, and it's exported to more than 40 different countries. The word Duvel literally translates into English as devil, but it's particularly from the Brabantian, Ghent and Antwerp dialects of Dutch. The standard Dutch word for devil is duivel. But this beer was initially produced under the moniker Victory Ale in the 1920s, and this was just to commemorate the end of the First World War, which of course ended in 1918. But it's said that an avid drinker described this as nun echten duvel, which basically translates to a real devil, and it's thought that this was perhaps a reference to the ABV. Now this particular beer is brewed with Pilsner malt and dextrose, and it's hopped with Sats and Styrian Gouldings. The yeast itself is said to stem from an original Scottish culture that was brought by Albert Moortgat, who's the son of Jan Leonard Moortgat, during a business trip just after the First World War. A business tour of the UK was on, and they bought this Scottish yeast culture. It's interesting to see that this has a Scottish connection as well. Now, there's an alternative Duvel beer in which they add American Amarillo hops, and this is called the Tripfil, I'm sure. But this American Amarillo hops are added to the brew, and it's got a 9% ABV, and it's released as a yearly special edition. So hopefully at some stage I can get this for you and review that also. But I'll just get this guy open and we can get on with the tasting part of it. I shall just check to see, I can let you see the beer cap for this one. You see, it just has the standard Duvel logo on it. Not really an exciting beer cap, but as you can see, the bottle, this is a little kind of stumpy bottle here. As you can see, it has the 1871 founding mark on it. Belgian Gold Ale it's described as. There's no real description on the back of it, but let's just get this guy out and have a little look at him. Now incidentally, this one is an 8.5% Belgian strong ale, and this is considered by many people to be the sort of standard beer in this style, the most definitive beer. It's actually rated at 95% on Beer Advocate and 99% on Rate Beer. So as you can tell, this is a very, very popular beer, and it's very well liked. We'll just get this guy out and have a little look at him. As you can see, it's a very, very pale straw colour. It's quite cloudy actually. There's a good bit of carbonation visible in there. It's got a really nice white fluffy head on it. Just give it a little smell. Now it smells very, very sweet. You can smell like quite a lot of floral and citrus in there. Big floral aroma. Maybe just a little hint of spice. Get this guy tasted. And the first thing that you notice there is you can taste the carbonation in that one. It's really got quite a kind of complexy flavour. The first thing that comes is the sort of, I'm getting kind of bready malts from this. yeah, kind of bready malts and then some fruits coming in. You can get a little bit of there's a little bit of hoppiness in it and some grassiness as well. Like I say, there's a big floral aroma, so that matches up well with the flavour. You can tell it's a stronger one as well actually, but it's not too bad. You get the little bit of warmth from the ABV percentage. But yeah, bready malts first, followed by fruit. There's a little bit of hoppiness and grassiness kind of throughout it. Definite with the aftertaste. Definitely a sort of citrusy aftertaste in my opinion. It's surprisingly for being such a strong beer, it's surprisingly light bodied, but that can be quite typical of Belgian beers. They can be quite high ABV percentages and they can also still be very light bodied, but it's very crisp. The carbonation, like I said earlier, is quite prominent on the tongue. But overall, this is a very, very nice beer. It's like I say, it's a very, very good start point to start with your Belgian beer, just simply because of how widely available it is. There's some really crazy varieties of stuff available from Belgium. If you're starting for your very first Belgian beer, this itself is a very, very good beer, but just simply because of how well distributed it is, this is a very, very good one to start with. I would highly recommend starting with this beer. It's a really nice one. I wouldn't say it's my favourite Belgian beer, but I have a bottle of my favourite Belgian beer so far over there, and I'll review that at a later date for you. But if you're only starting out on Belgian beer, definitely give this one a try. A really nice kind of bready, citrusy beer. But thanks again for watching my beer reviews. I'll be back soon. I'm not quite sure what one I'll do next. I have a Polish translator coming in I have a friend who's Polish and he'll come in and translate some stuff for me for my next video on the Polish beer. But thanks again for watching Got a Radio Moscow, and like the videos, comment, suggest beers for me. But thanks again for watching, and I shall be back soon with another beer review. Cheers.